Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Tashambi Speaks. I am Dr. Tashambi. Today, I want to talk to you all about how to avoid struggling in your BSN completion program. I'm going to give you 4 points to help you be successful in your program. One of the things I do want to talk about is when you sign up for a course in your program, it is very important for you to pay attention to the syllabus. So what you want to do is once the course begins and you have access to your syllabus, you want to read through your syllabus. If there are points inside of the syllabus that you don't understand, this is a perfect time for you to reach out to the course facilitator, send them an email and just ask for clarifying points. And most teachers, they will gladly entertain questions associated with the syllabus at the beginning of the course. It does become difficult if you happen to be a person who has a rigorous schedule, or if you're someone who tends to procrastinate and you're looking for answers to questions associated with the syllabus or assignment requirements the night the assignment is due. So try and make sure you read through your syllabus and get clarification about points that you may not understand. Number 2, when you are going through your syllabus, pay attention to your assignment rubric. You want to make sure you understand what that assignment is requiring of you when you are putting that assignment together. Now, you want to be careful because sometimes people oftentimes don't understand how rigorous an assignment might be as a result of not looking over your syllabus. So let me give you an example. When you are preparing for an assignment and you see things such as compare and contrast, those are words that you should hone in on. Let me give you an example. If you have an assignment and it indicates that it wants you to compare and contrast healthcare among elderly people in an urban environment and in a rural environment, technically that is like doing 2 separate papers. And then they want you to compare the two. So that's like 2 separate papers that you're doing on those populations of people. And then they want you to contrast the similarities together. When you see things like that, that is a nice amount of work. That is not an assignment that you would be able to do the day of. So what I recommend to students to do is look at your assignment, try to discern how rigorous the assignment might be. Because think about it. Most times I've been querying people for years about their BSN completion program, and myself. I did my BSN online. And you can almost tell if the assignment is going to be a lot of work. I have never had an assignment that took me less than 10 hours. So you want to make sure you allocate time for the assignment. You want to make sure you understand what this assignment is asking you to do. The day the assignment is due at midnight is probably not the day that you want to start seeking out clarification from your course facilitator, because if they have it written inside of their course syllabi that they will respond to your email request within 24 to 48 hours. And if you don't reach out to them until Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning and your assignment is due Sunday at midnight, technically they have all the way until the next day to respond to you if they have that indicated inside of their syllabi. So you want to pay attention to words inside of your rubrics that will indicate that this is going to be a very rigorous assignment. Sometimes people think PowerPoint presentations are easy. I used to think that. PowerPoint presentations are not difficult unless they tell you they want speaker notes. Once you start adding in speaker notes, those speaker notes technically is a paper. It's just a paper with some slides. Okay? Now let's look at number 3. Not giving yourself enough time to complete the assignment. We kind of touched on that a little bit. You probably, once you get your course syllabi and you have your assignments, most nurses are working 36, 40, sometimes more than 40 hours a week. We won't mention the fact that we have significant others, husbands, wives, children children oftentimes they don't stop with their extracurricular activities, sports. They don't stop all that stuff just because we're going through our BSN completion program. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you plan. I have done things like take a vacation day. If I can detect that this is a very rigorous assignment, I will take 2 vacation days and get it done. Another way to minimize the stress associated with putting your assignments together is, why don't you, if you have an off day, why don't you think about setting your paper up? Go ahead and set your title page up, set your intro up. The intro to me is, I like that. It's kind of like the easiest part of the paper, because all you're doing is discussing what you're going to be talking about. You throw a couple of references in there to support your point, and then you can move forward. The conclusion is not difficult either, because the conclusion basically is you tying everything all in together, in about maybe 4 or 5 sentences, and you're done with that part as well. So you do want to make sure that you plan, give yourself enough time so you don't feel stressed out. There is nothing worse than not giving yourself enough time to put a project together, and you hit that submit button, and you have butterflies in your stomach because you know that work could have been done on a better level and on a higher level, and you kind of feel like this is not going to get the 100 points that I'm looking for. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about APA formatting. The profession of nursing, we have deemed APA as our method of communication. APA stands for American Psychology Association. This is the method that we use it in all of our programs. Even if you're in an associate degree program and they have you write a paper, you should be using APA. The accrediting bodies are not accrediting nursing schools that do not embrace APA. Scholarly journals are not approving research articles if that article is not written in APA. You will see APA in every level of education in nursing. ADN, BSN, your master's programs, your PhD, your DNP programs, everything we use is APA. Okay, so with that being said, you want to make sure that you accept it, that you embrace it. There are videos that will guide you through step by step on how to set your paper up. I will put a link in the description area. There is a guy, he is absolutely wonderful. He will go to your toolbar and show you how to format your entire paper based on APA. So that is a very good resource, so make use of it. And it's important. It's important because if you notice, pay attention, you will see that just about every rubric has points that you can gain or lose based on your APA. Now, some people might think, oh, I'm just going to put this paper together. My teacher's not going to pay attention to it. Yes, we do. We do pay attention to APA. There is no way we can give you 100% on your paper and your APA is lagging. You're writing sentences that's not supported with a scholarly journal, or your title page isn't formatted according to APA 7th edition. That's the edition that we're using now. There were errors in the 6th edition, and now we are using the 7th edition as of 2020. So most schools, I believe most schools at this point should be on board with APA 7th edition. Now, you might think, well, my APA on this paper is just work, it's only a couple of points that I would lose if I don't format according to APA. Well, think about it. If you're in a course and say it's five points for APA, and you're doing a total of 5 papers and you lose APA points on every paper, that's 25 points that you lost. Not to mention if you don't meet all aspects of the assignment rubric. So to me, missing out on APA points is kind of like leaving points on the table. It's something that can be done. You just need to accept the fact that it has to be done, and then go ahead and use the references and the resources that can guide you through formatting your paper properly. Now, there are other writing styles out there. You have Harvard. If you were in law school, you'd have to embrace Harvard. If you were in an associate's degree program and it was, liberal arts and humanity courses, they use MLA. MLA is Modern Language Assessment. And like I said before, we in the profession of nursing, we use APA. So those are some tips that I wanted to give you all to help you avoid struggling in your BSN completion program. More hospitals are pushing for their associate degree nurses to go on back and get that BSN. There are some programs, hospitals, they will pay for your entire program if you are willing to commit to a contract that indicates a number of years that you will work for them. Some people are game. They believe in that. Other people believe they don't want to be stuck. I wish I had allowed my employer to pay for mine because I thought I didn't want to be stuck at the time. And then I looked up and it was 17 years later and I was still working for him. So it would have been financially beneficial for me if I had went on and signed that contract and worked for them. I could have had my BSN paid for. So students today tend to be more savvy and they do not have a problem. They're paying attention to their money, and I would say in a better way than some of us older nurses did, or I could speak for myself. Then they are a little more savvy than I was because, like I said, to this day, I'm still kicking myself that I did not allow my employer to pay for my BSN when I went back. But it's water under the bridge. So thank you all for paying attention to this video. I do ask that you like and share. If you have people who are in their BSN program or who are contemplating going back for their BSN completion, share this video with them because it's very helpful tips that can help folks avoid pitfalls because you never want to be that person who's struggling with your GPA in your BSN completion program because that can affect you in the long haul. If you want to go back and get a higher degree, they do tend to look at your GPA, particularly if you are desirous of applying for different types of grants and scholarships. Thank you for your attention. And like I said, like and share.